I thank Danny and for inviting me. I'm Don Yealy. I'm the chair of emergency medicine at the University of Pittsburgh and UPMC. If you're unfamiliar with that place, it's okay because we'll be acquiring you soon. Don't worry about it. And your job is intact, at least for a little bit of time. That's not really a joke, is it, Walt? By the way, Walt here, Walt Trading, was my wife's medical student when I was a resident a long, long time ago. It shows you how small the world is. Danny, congratulations. I ran the program committee 20 years ago, and this is what I would describe as a nice problem. Too many people in the room. This is really wonderful, and I thank you all for coming. It shows to me that you have interest in moving up not only the academic leadership chain, but probably the clinical delivery leadership chain. So the requirement was, what's the singular lesson that you learned that you want to share with someone? And I will be succinct. I won't take 10 minutes. And I will tell you the singular lesson, not many things. And it's this simple. 1 + 1 is way greater than 2, and 1 + 3 is way greater than 4. And what I'm trying to say to you is that early on in your career, as you're developing your own sense of identity and your own skills, you will focus on your ideas, your wants, and your desires. I did that too. And eventually you will learn the lesson that alone you can do good things, but only with someone as a partner, or multiple people as a partner, will you ever be able to do great things. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about investigative activities, running a clinical department, your educational activities. The switch to being able to partner with people who are just as talented or more talented is the key to eventual real success. For me, the lesson was I had done a residency. I did a research fellowship back when there were 2 other people in the country doing research fellowships. We would have a meeting at this meeting, and it would just be at a little table, 3 of us. It was great. I wrote lots of little papers. I had a lot of stuff accepted here. None of it mattered. I mastered the least publishable unit of drivel. And I had 2 awakening experiences about that. I had what would be described as a nice little career. I returned to the University of Pittsburgh after being gone for a period of time, had to meet with the dean because I was going to be put on some committee. And he said to me, looking at my curriculum vitae, "That's a nice little associate professor CV." And it sounded just as pejorative then as it sounds right now. And it meant you were going nowhere. You were doing lots of little things and nowhere. So I decided I was going to, on my own, write my very first R01, and I read a grant on a topic that really wasn't my passion, but I thought, I'm a bright guy, I'm well-trained, I should be able to figure this out. And I wrote the R01. Ed, what do you think happened with that R01? Not funded, and not even, it was triage, not even reviewed. And it was just like, I'm not in the hemisphere. I'd gotten it completely wrong. Everything about it wrong. And I learned from those 2 things that if I was going to do anything impactful, I was going to have to leverage my skills, but do it together with other people. Now, fast forward 20 years later, been able to participate in some of the most impactful acute care trials in emergency medicine, run a department. I run probably the largest academic department in the country, oversee right now 24 emergency departments, soon to be 32. I can't do it alone, and I do it with people who are smarter and better than I am. My jobs in the administrative side, even outside of emergency medicine, I have to interface with a lot of other folks. I have to be their partner. I think you should always partner with people, but from your area of strength. What you all know now, the skill that you were trained in emergency medicine, whether you realize it or not, is you're one of the few collection of physicians that can get to yes and get to resolution. You're not intimidated by surgeons. You don't feel intellectually inferior to an internist. You know how to get people to get things done, whether that's administratively, investigatively. You have that skill, and no one else really has it in the house of medicine. So my one piece of advice for you is, you're done. Most of the faces here don't look in the very beginning of the career. You have the initial skills now. Learn to partner up and do it from a position of strength. Leverage what you bring, but do it with others. That's the real secret sauce to having success that multiplies in front of you. It's not being alone anymore. I told you I'd be quick.